Hello, Just Jax here and welcome to my channel. We are in December. It is cold. We have had a tiny bit of sleet, so it's on the verge of snow. So, with those two things in mind, what better time to make either something for yourself to keep you warm or as a gift. This is part of a loom set. I bought one off eBay a few years back. I think it was about £15 there or thereabout. And you got 4 looming circles, which you can make hats with. You can make other things with as well, but we're going to do hats today. Got some lovely wool. Comes with a little pick as well, so you can pick the wool over nice and easy. These are brilliant. I do love them. They're like they're an easier way to knit things. I've tried knitting in the past several times, and one of the problems that I always come across is the tension, how tight I end up. I start out with a loose knit, or like, you know, there or thereabouts where it's meant to be, and then as my square gets bigger it starts to end up like a boot shape because it gets tighter and tighter and tighter and then harder and harder to do. These things are brilliant because they stop you from doing that. It will be the same taut all the way through, as long as you know you're going the same taut all the way through. And I just find it a lot easier, and for people who have sort of, you know, not so dexterous with their fingers, this is also brilliant because you can do it off the tabletop if you need to. So you haven't, and it's nice and chunky as well, so it's not something too fiddly that you've got to have a really good grip with. Even if you've got a loose grip, you can work this. This is the only sort of fiddly thing about it, but you can get picks with bigger handles to make it easier. So, that being said, let's have a go. Now, like I say, I've done this before. I haven't done it for a while. I did a load last year, didn't do much throughout the summer. Didn't need to make anything warm throughout the summer. And just things happen. I get sidetracked very easily with different ideas and different things to do. So I thought this would be a really good time to bring it back out, show you all how easy it can be, and yeah, as per usual, you know, give it a go. It's definitely worth getting if you want to make some gifts, because you can get it for cheaper than £15, and you can get, like I say, the set that I got had 4 different sizes for like different head sizes. You actually, you know, you've got a really big one for big heads, you've got a slightly smaller one. They're aimed at like a man's head, a woman's head, a young child's head, and then a newborn's head, the smallest one. But like I say, you can use them to make other things. Like you can actually make a blanket out of this, believe it or not. And scarves. Scarves are really easy to make out of these. So yeah, what we're going to do is I will show you how to get started, and then I'll go slowly initially so you can see what to do, and then I'm going to speed up the process, because once you get really good at this, you can bash a hat out real quick. So first thing we're going to do is make just a little loop knot. I'll do that a bit slower for those of you who don't know. Make a little loop knot, poke a bit through, hold on to your long end and your short end, or it's like a little slip knot, so if you pull that it'll pop. We're going to put that on the peg on the outside. That's going to hold it in place while we start off. So what we're going to do is we are going to be wrapping this around each of the pegs once and then a second time, and you're going to be taking it through that first gap, wrapping it around, so you've got a loop like that, if you can see. So you're always going from the back round the front, and take that to each peg And you're going to do that all the way around. Now what you can do as well, I'm just doing this single thread. If you want to make it really warm and a little bit thicker, you can do it double thread. Now once we've gone round all the way once, we're going to go around a second time. We're going to leave the next one closer to the top because you're going to pick the bottom one and loop it over the top of the second one. So we're going to go around a second time. In this particular hat I'm doing, I will give it a little rim. Now again, you don't have to do that. You can have it just straight off as it is, but with a little rim we'll make a few lines and then I'll show you how we loop them back over to create a little rim for the hat. Make it a little bit more snug. So once we've done that and we've got two all the way around, we can loop this around our peg here. It stays out the way. And what we're going to do is we're going to go around the whole thing and we're going to pull the bottom one up and over the top. We're going to do that all the way around. We will push them down as we're going, ready for the next line. Now these are very, very relaxing to do. You can completely go at your own pace. Like I say, we'll pick up speed a little bit later after we've done this just a few rounds so you can all see what we're doing. But it's very relaxing. It's one of those things like I mentioned before, when I start painting or doing pretty much anything art or craft wise, I tend to zone out a little bit after a while and just watch it unfold. A bit like going on autopilot. You can very easily, once you've got the knack of this, do that yourselves with this. You can just switch off. You can have some nice music playing in the background. You can have something on the TV in the background. Whatever you like, or you can just watch it unfold. It's very relaxing. And then it's just a simple thing of going around again. And you just keep going and going until you've got the length that you want of the item that you're making. Now online there are some guides as to how many lines to do for things like hats, scarves and so on and so forth. I don't tend to keep count as I'm going. They all end up a little bit different. I'll find them and put them in the description for people who want a guide, or so it's all there, or you can just Google yourself. Very easy to find. after you've done, say, about 10 or so, you'll see it build up. I mean, you're already going to start to see it build up in there now. This one that I'm doing is going to be, it is actually for someone, it's a little gift, they don't know yet. It's for my friend who I did all the canvases, all the series of blue and sky themed canvases for. They're all for her little one's room. This is going to be a little, just a little gift for him, for her and for him. He's a lovely young chap, bless his heart. I think he's coming up to a year. But yeah, I thought it'll be a nice little gift to give. And I'll make a bigger one after this that's going to be a gift for the mother-in-law, who's also had an order of canvases from me that I'm working on as we speak. I've done 2 so far. At the moment they've all been Picasso works in a set colour of her choice. We're undecided of what the last 2 are going to be. Well, the last 2. I've done 2. I've got the next 2 ready and waiting to start. There's going to be a big one. They'll all be Picasso. And then the final 2, we don't know yet. They're up in the air. So yeah, it would be nice. It's a nice neutral colour. She's not an in-your-face kind of lady. And I've got some nice chunky knit as well. It's like me, she does feel the cold very easily. I'm hoping she likes that. Same for the reason why I've chosen these nice bright rainbow colours for the little lad. My friend's a little bit more out there, so I know, I'm pretty confident anyway, I won't say I know, pretty confident she'll appreciate this for a little lad. I'm also considering making an even smaller one for the lovely lady over the road who's expecting. We'll see how far we get. So yeah, you can see now it's starting to come together. Starting to get a few rows there. So I'm going to pick up pace a little bit. But I will definitely slow down again when it turns to comes to turning it up. So you can all see how to do that. And the beautiful thing about this, unlike with the knitting needles, if you slip and it all falls off, you can just put it all back on again. It'll just, like that, it'll just ping off. Right on cue. Didn't mean to do that. But it'll slip off, so you can just go back and pop it all back on again. And like with knitting, and I'll show this in another video, you can do, as far as I'm aware, I've tried several, pretty much any stitch that you can do with knitting needles you can do with these looms. So I'll save that for another video. We'll do like a little sample piece showcasing all the different knits that I'm aware of. Like I say, I'm pretty sure every one that you can do with needles you can do with the loom. And in other news, as of this video, I am still waiting for my teeth to arrive so I can start the sculpture. So I've got an idea, and I need teeth for the idea. I did have come today a little wood chisel set, so I can do a little bit of wood carving. So that'll be quite fun to try. I haven't done that for a very, very long time. I'm still waiting on my sculpting tools, which is probably just as well the teeth haven't arrived. Although that wouldn't stop me. I've not very often used sculpting tools to their max in the past. I usually just use my fingers because they're small enough, or any other objects I've got laying around for the job I need. I thought it'd be nice to get some, because they are fun, they are handy. I think that's all I'm waiting on at the moment. I still want to get a little engraving kit. I've seen a couple on eBay, but I didn't want to go crazy with purchases, especially so close to Christmas. So I thought, well, I've got a couple of different sculpting tools on the way. I'll play with those first and then get the engraver. So I've got an idea for that as well. I want to make a series of bone buddies. I've never tried, I've played with an engraver a very long time ago. I don't know if you can engrave bone with it or not. So we'll find out. My girls, they get the marrow bones every now and again. So they're really good. The marrow's good for them, and they can clean their teeth on the bone. There's no risk of them choking, so it's far too dense for them to bust up in big pieces. But then I end up every now and again with a great big pile of bones. It's like, okay, I look at them much like I did with a pile of tea bags. I wonder if I could turn them into something. So I thought about bone buddies. Sort of engrave little faces onto them. Clean them off properly first. I'll have to see how to do that. Probably boil and bleach. And then that might be cool, a little series of those. So every now and again, when the girls have got through a few of them, I can make a few bone buddies. As well as trying out on other things, like I've never tried engraving glass, and apparently with this one kit I've seen you can engrave like wood, glass, stone and metal. Doesn't say bone. That'll be something we just have to have a go at ourselves, find out. But I'd have thought if you can go through metal with it, like say wood, stone, metal and glass, why not bone? Now you can really see it coming together. So we'll probably do twice that before we bring it back up on itself. Yeah, probably twice that. If you've got nails, you can always do it that way. That's how I used to do it. And I can do a series of them 1, 1, 1. I also used to just do the whole ring, but then go around again and do this. You do however you feel works for you. Together rather nice. It's going to be quite a jazzy little hat, this. I am going to have to pause, however, in a moment because I need the toilet. I drank far too much tea this morning already. Plus, I believe it's about time for my girls to have their dinner. It is. Right, so I'm going to pause for a second and continue after I've sorted my girls out and been to the loom. So back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. I hit record twice and stopped, but I'd only done a line, so luckily I noticed before then, before I continued. I'll chalk it up to cold brain, cold hands, cold everything. I took to standing. Sitting down just wasn't working for me. Plus if I stand up I can jiggle about a little bit and get a bit warmer. And hopefully won't end up keep dragging this out of shot. Maybe 1 or 2 more lines before we bring it up for the rim. We'll play it safe, we'll go 2 more. And then you'll see how you bring it up. And that's when we'll unattach it from here as well. You won't need that holding it in place anymore. Cold fingers. Made another cup of tea. Try and warm my hands up. I don't know if I mentioned or not, I get Raynaud's phenomena, which is basically poor circulation, but it means your extremities go numb. Blood flow doesn't work so well. So my fingers and toes tend to go not fleshy coloured anymore, and they start to go numb, so I can't really feel what I'm doing. I mean, it doesn't stop me from still doing things, it's just more annoying than anything if I had to put a word to it and a feeling to it, because you're trying to do things that you want to do and then your fingers go numb, so you can't feel what you're doing properly. And this year it's particularly bad. Past few years, I mean, I've had this since I was about 15, and we're now like 37. I have to go slow so I don't keep track of my birthday. And yeah, this year is the first year where it weren't just my fingers, my hand went numb. Now that was an odd sensation. And that was when I was out walking the girls. So I'm hoping I don't get too much of that. The fingers, you know, I've lived with them being like that for so many years. Like I say, I just tend to crack on with stuff. With the hand going numb, that's a whole different kettle of fish. Luckily, it's just been the one hand. It's just been my left hand, and it's only been half a hand. I don't know what I'd do if the whole hand went like that. It took a very long time, and a hot water bottle and a number of blankets to get the circulation going again. Right, I think, yeah, we're going to make this our last line before we bring it up to make the rim of the hat. And that's when I'll go slow again so you can see that. Not that this is incredibly fast, but it's faster than I was doing at the beginning. Right, so we're going to unhook that piece to begin with, send that through there. Let's just get that to stay in one place for us. It's now hanging down there. We're going to tuck him in. When we bring that up, that will hold it in place. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring, let's get this in line so we know where. Right, we're going to bring, line it up. We're going to start to bring these loops up here. So what we're going to do is get that one and hook him over. Once you've got one in place, you'll be able to follow the rest. I tend to use my hands for this part. You can use the pick. Get my head out of the way. And a loop. That bottom one back over. As you can see, you'll be able to, as you roll it gently with your fingers or with a pick, you'll be able to see which is the bottom one. You're following that one piece all the way around. It'll clearly be the bottom one. It'll be curled in on itself, but it'll clearly be the bottom one. Oh, you're the piece that needs to be tucked in, cheeky. Get in there. We had a sudden change of colour. Right. So we've got that. So now we're going to go around, tuck him in, because he's being naughty. He'll stay in once you've got your loops on. Go around and do the same again. Bring the bottom one over the top one. Excuse me. Tickle. Now that is going to be the rim of the hat. And now it'll just be back to what we were doing before. Taking it around. Now after you've done 3 or 4, you'll start to see the hat take shape. This will be the point, so I'll pop numbers up in the description. This will be the point where you'll start counting for how much headspace you want your hat to have, for want of a better term. The dome bit. The dome bit of your dome bit. have to see how much of this we can get done before either I need the toilet again, or it's time to take the young ladies out. So while I'm doing this, I can quite easily lose track of time. I mean, I do anyway, I'm notorious. Unless I keep checking the time. I've got no natural judgment of time. Especially if I slip into the world of watching what I'm doing. When you're really enjoying something, time does just tend to slip away with you. See from there the difference. It is cool as well. It's like not only to just double knit to make it thicker. It's nice to double knit and pick, say, like 2 different colours or 2 slightly different textured wools, because that has a really nice effect. I did that for my sister the other year. I had some, I think it's called feather wool, where it's all sort of, well, feathery. So I used that with, it was a pink feathery wool with some soft white that was a little bit thicker. And that had a really nice effect in the end. And I adorned it with a pom-pom panda. She really liked that when she saw it. I also, funnily enough, made her, she has a little pug. I made her pug a little matching hat with a little chin strap. I think it was her pug at the time. It wouldn't have been last year, would it? Have been the year, oh, perhaps a couple of years back. She was, I think the pug was about 1 at that point. Found it great fun to play with. So it didn't last long, but that doesn't matter. She had fun, bless her. Same for that being said, the, was it, yeah, the Pom Pom Panda from the Pom Pom Pals edition that's I've got up there as a playlist. That's since bit the dust. My lovely young Labrador Marley, she got, unbeknownst to me, she's very quick and she's like a little ninja. She got into my bag of on-the-go wool projects whilst I was in the room looking through the bags of art supplies and whatnot. Can't remember what I was looking for that day. I didn't realise until she come running up to me in the kitchen to show me what she had done and what she'd got. Pom Pom Panda does not look the same anymore. His ears were a little bit dishevelled. He had rather long hair on one side of his head and rather short hair on the other side of his head. I think the eyes had gone completely. And she was very, very, very pleased with herself. And of course I couldn't, there was no telling her off for that. She just thought it was a toy, bless her heart. Nova had done the same in the past. And that was just like a misjudgment. Well, I hadn't told my other half that they, you know, they're not doggy durable. And I'd made a little pom-pom dog. And I'd left it on the side in the front room. And before I knew it, I had a look. I think I was doing dinner at the time. And my other half was playing with Nova with what was the pom-pom dog. And I can't remember what he said exactly, but comments to the effect of, you know, it's not lasted very long. was like, oh well, she had fun. She had fun. But yeah, that was because I've made things for her in the past and he just thought it was another toy for her. And I hadn't told him that they just come apart just like that, you know. He doesn't know how pom-poms are made or put together, so they're not the most durable thing when it comes to dogs playing with them. Though I did since make her one, a very, very tight one, out of very, very fine wool. And then I used felt needle to felt it all together. That has lasted. She still has that now. Though probs not if Marley finds it. Marley's very good at taking things apart. So you can make a pom-pom for your dog that does last. You just need to use a felting needle as well, so it's got a, you know, it's a bit more robust. Because Nova at the time, she was going through the thing of really loving pom-poms of any kind. I had some like little furry ones hanging off a pair of slippers, so I gave them to her. She also still has those. I'm sure one from somewhere else that sparked it all off. She was very dexterous with her mouth. She likes juggling things in her mouth, like rolling a ball around or trying a... Mind you, Marley does this as well now, like dropping a ball on the floor in the kitchen and trying to catch it on the short bounce. Yeah, maybe we could do that one day as well. Make the girls a more durable pom-pom for them to play with. Now, I didn't tend to make it so big so I could felt it nice and tight. I gave it a real short haircut. And then I felt it within an inch of its life. We're getting there. I don't know how many more. I'd say perhaps... So that's going to get all cinched together at the top. So maybe... What we got? Maybe another 5-6 lines? And we'll just check the time. Don't get carried away. Oh, I'm still doing very good for time. I think I'll even get this done before it's time to take the girls. Might be nice to make this, make a little pom-pom for the top of this one. We'll see. This will make a really nice rainbow pom-pom, this wool. And the very first hat that I made was for my other half. So we were finding it hard to find just a plain black, super slouchy slouch hat. So I got some really thick wool. This was when he was working outside a lot more as well. I made a double layer so it was like this all the way up. Weighs a ton, but very thick, very warm. I think I used two, maybe two, well definitely two, maybe 2.5 balls of wool on that. That took quite a while, but did the job, kept his head really warm, and it was super slouchy. I'll have to make him another one. Perhaps not so heavy. Though he didn't complain, he did appreciate it. There wasn't any issue with it being heavy. I just thought it was rather heavy. I think another 5 will be fine. 4 or 5 at this point. Three or 4. Sort of half keeping count now. Half keeping count. You can get, I mean, if I wanted to do count, I'd just get a piece of paper and do, you know, the 5 dashes. But you can get like a little clicker, little counter to keep on your wrist. I think they're only like, you know, £1 or so. So each time you do a line, you can literally just go click and it'll keep count for you. Because, like I said before, it's easy to just slip into the land of doing this, not counting or focusing on anything, just relaxing. So they're really handy. I may invest in one day. Like I say, I'm a pen and paper girl, so I don't mind doing my little dashes should I ever want to keep count, which I will one day, because I will make a few to sell online. So I'll do them a bit more consistent then. If I'm just doing one-offs for people, and even if it's just a one-off order, obviously get their measurements. ask them what style they want, but I still keep the unique and individual aspect to it. No two hats are ever going to be the same that way, not really. Be a nice little hat. I'll have to make one for myself one day. I keep meaning to, but I can never settle on what kind of wool I want. I know what style, I'm a slouch hat person. I also have a hole for my hair to hang out. So I've got my hat on right now because it's really, really cold. Though I'll have to take it off in a moment, otherwise I won't feel it when I put it on to go outside and take the girls. But yeah, this hat has a hole made with a hole in it so my hair can poke out. So it won't all trapped in the hat. Let my hair breathe. I have got more than one hat as well. I tend to wear an item till its last breath. Like I've had this hat now. This has been a really good one. It's lasted. I've adjusted it to cater for my hair. I think perhaps 6-7 years ago now, maybe a bit more. So it has lasted well. I know it's not going to last much. Well, I say that. It's just loose. So I wear it so much. It's due for a wash again, so it can shrink back up a touch. I do tend to stick to one item of clothing. Obviously wash it regularly, but I end up just living in that thing. It's the same for shoes. I've got more than one pair now, but I was notorious for just having one pair at a time because I just wear them all year round. From hell or high water, they were comfy, I liked them, so I'd live in them. Because I'm a cyclist and pedestrian, I can't drive. And I'd wear them for when I was working at a day centre. I'd be hoofing around in them all day. Then I'd be going to the shops and hoofing around in them all at the shops. And then I'd be hoofing around and I'm taking the girls for a walk. It'd just be all hoof, hoof, hoof. They'd burn out so quickly. Even really good ones. So, yeah, back to the hats. That was the point of bringing this up. I've got a couple of cool hats that I really love. I've got a little Deadpool hat. This Deadpool is cool. Funny. Love the comics. We'll invest in more in the future because they're fun to read. Deadpool's a fun guy. And there's an anime out there that I really love called One Punch Man. I've got a hat of his face. A hat of Saitama's face. That's a very fun anime, very fun little series. I absolutely love the first series. Love the others as well, but absolutely love the first one. It's like visually amazing. It's like a party on the senses. The music is incredible as well. And I love how the style changes. It's like a running theme with him. Because he's quite a funny character himself. He doesn't try to be funny, he just is funny. So he's sort of like quite round and soft. But then when he goes into serious mode, it's that more sharp, edgy looking animation style / drawing style. It's really well done. There's a couple of fight scenes in the first series that the very first episode and the very last episode have got some fights in them, and the background music and the animation style all combined, I could just watch those fights again and again and again. It's like a party for the senses, the eyes and the ears, and in turn the mind is just loving it. So for any anime fans out there of who approve of, like, you know, like fighting and somewhat funny, I really recommend, if you haven't seen it already, checking him out. So yeah, I'll have to wear those hats one day, especially the Saitama one. It's just funny. He's without giving too much away, one of his, I guess, names that he ends up going by, not necessarily wanted by himself, is the Caped Baldy. So yeah, the hat is funny for that reason. And yeah, the Deadpool one's just cool. Just a simple little red hat. The top half of Deadpool's face. Same for rather randomly, I think. And that's all covered in. Do one more. I'll try and visualise. I might be there. I'm going to have a little thinking time while I nip to the toilet and make a cup of tea. And then when we come back, we will decide if that's the length to stop at. And if it is, I need to get a tool from upstairs. We'll show you how we complete the hat. And I also might bring the pom-pom maker down. We might make a little baby pom-pom to go on the top. So I'll be back in a moment.